Greetings and welcome to the Energy of Leo. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I do welcome you to the channel. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. Um, I did mention that there was going to be a pause. This pause is now relieved, and we are going to begin with a look into the Lion's Gate, which should approach for most Leos as this is their solar return. But you can also look for other placements in terms of excuse me, the ascendant or other planets that are related, planets or celestial bodies that are related to the energy of Leo or the fifth house, if you have a fifth house placement. In terms of this, we all do. So we can look into certain tools that should prognosticate or augur certain things that are tied to the energy of the fifth house. Yes, so today we shall be doing a 9-card spread known as the Great Mirror. The Great Mirror is a tool devised by the Order of the Twin Sun in order to see the apparent karmas that may exist for Leo on one side and on the other, the significance of another. Okay, so we'll go ahead and see certain karmas, excuse me, that may be panning out for the energy of Leo, and we'll go ahead and get started now. So firstly, I'd like to open up with a small reading in terms of karma. Okay. Okay, this speaks about pulling from the future, and being able to mercurially at least balance certain things. As you pull from this energy of Virgo, especially, there is a sense that you are dealing with information or perhaps ways of approaching different paths, different commitments, different projects, trying to balance out between two different realities, okay? And choosing one of them in order to face um, a clear passage, a way into finding the Six of Rods by transgressing over the Five of Rods or moving back to the Four of Rods. So this is either panning out to be some sort of new beginning or some sort of rite, okay? A rite, R-I-T-E, which is a way of passage in terms of the studies of William Turner and his wife. There's a possibility of some sort of community that you can be contributing to in terms of especially foundations, being able to harness some form of reality and really be the commander of that, and in a way a protector, a preserver of that reality, choosing from two different realities and becoming focused in order to prevent any further tension with anything. This is difficult considering that a lot of processing has been made with the past that has ended. There's something about a tremendous change in the energy of Leo that speaks about essentially no longer searching for a balance, but searching for a type of clarity, a realism, okay, a realism that is arising for the energy of Leo. Today I shall be using, yes, for Leo, this deck. I haven't touched her in a while, this one. So, very special deck, 130 years old, this deck. So, Pardon. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. Mm. Okay. Interesting. A lot of Virgo energy is seeing that you're dealing with. Taurus, lots of strong Taurus energy as well. With this, there is the second and the sixth house opening, meaning that there is something to be devoted to in terms of practicality on one end. There also is something about surrendering, giving up, letting go on your end, especially the energy of Leo. Um, what is happening here is a type of disempowerment that comes through the solar energy and essentially the Lion's Gate here with the Tower solar energy that shoots out rays of energy in order to decapitate or dethrone. Okay, this is talking about letting go of essentially power schemes or power dynamics, no longer playing the game. Okay, this also has to talk about, it's also speaking about great shifts that occur on the Plutonic and Uranian levels. Okay, very, very unpredictable sort of changes that are occurring according to placements within especially Uranus and Taurus, very strong here. Um, now, this also talks about a blowing up or an opening up of the mind for Leo. This has to do with ego death, especially with the Ten of Swords as well as the Ten of Rods. From earlier, there's something about trying to protect against such a moment, but then the energy of the sun is prevalent and essentially leads to this sort of clarity, okay, clarity of mind that requires especially uh, the loosening of the loosening of the grip when it comes to certain things that you're trying to hold on to. Okay, great change, great transformation indicated here on the conscious level, but you are dealing with someone here that. Maybe the cause of this, or something about them working hard with the eights to the nine of pentacles, um, working hard on essentially coming to a place of stillness in order to hear something else. There's something about this person's mind or soul or spirit that is tied directly to the energies of Taurus, which are generally aesthetically pleasing as well as calm, but also open to Mother Nature, open to the source of semiotic responsibilities. Okay, anything that has to do with representation. They seem to represent themselves in a certain way, and something about that sun's energy. It's something that they've expended in order to create this humble quality to you. Okay, and this is important considering that the Lion's Gate, which is linked to Osiris, there is a link to that constellation, excuse me, and the stars that reside there have been worshipped for quite some time as being a place of origin for civilizations in general. There's something about this that talks about um, the way in which we represent language on a conscious level, that you may be encountering with this person a type of dynamic that is tied to what language represents and how it does not serve in some purpose. If we think about the tower, we think about the Tower of Babel, right, which fell according to biblical lore as well as other ancient sources. as it could not, it builds so many languages that became more and more distant from the original language, which is the language of the ancients. The language that is closest to the origin of sound, the origin, the sort of celestial sound that comes from represented words. Okay, so this is a powerful connection that speaks about listening. It speaks about also realization without any without any sort of pretenses. Okay, um, what is occurring else here? Yeah, the sun's energy is very strong, very strong. Gemini, as well as a Leo card. I can read it as a Leo card. We have here the 1-6 to 1-9, 2 as well. Some sort of nurturing chord that is solar in nature, that is energetic in nature. This connection requires a great deal of consciousness. Okay, it requires a great deal of self-awareness, um, big time, and I think that's a good thing. I'm not reading too much negativity from this yet. I'm just saying that Leo's energy becomes humbled in some sort of way, perhaps on the path to the rite of passage. Okay. Now, on a deeper level, wait. Let's have a bit more clarity here first. I need more clarity. So, switching over to my Portuguese decks. Portugueso, Vegeta Motero, and Jogo de Cartas Cigana del Sorte. Yes. What is this sun about? Sun and moon. Eclipse energy. Okay, interesting. Okay, this talks about two paths diverging into one. Okay, Queen of Pentacles is here. She shows up again. She was here earlier, moving towards the Five of Rods in the reverse. Okay, meaning that the pathways to the path to the path is essentially unifying. Okay, two roads leading into one direction. Now, this is a connection that is based on the eclipse energy of sun and moon. Whether it's solar or lunar, I do not know. And I don't think there is an eclipse energy in the sky right now, so this can portend to something occurring into the future in which, or the past, in which there is some sort of union between the twins. This union is usually sort of represented through the wrestlers or the twins. It depends on which decks you are using, in which there are two children or two people that are usually in loincloth, or they're charging each other in order to address certain things in terms of realization of humanity, okay? Of humanity that is based on commerce and communication, but also strife and war. Um, therein lies the idea of the sun as something that can be a combustible energy. It can also cause illuminations that are based on the nodes of the moon, but also eclipse energy, okay, which can be very auspicious for certain types of realizations. These realizations, they include the Eight of Cups energy, which is essentially Cancerian in nature, Cancer energy, um, that talks about exploration, but also departure from uh, um, from watery emotional needs or conditions, and these being burned away by the power of the sun. Okay, in order to have a sense of enlightenment in the equation. This also talks about the Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay, so that could be the Six of Cups. It could also be the Eight of Cups, but it talks about also the root of this situation being very important. Inheritance, as well as the idea of humanity, lineage, becomes very important within this connection. There's something about also trying to communicate something in secret, but then it being illuminated by the radiation of the sun, and then the sun sort of creating a type of tower moment for the energy of Leo. That sun is very prevalent, and with the sun in Leo's energy now with the Lion's Gate, there's something about this that talks about some sort of rite of passage, or at least some sort of double gateway that is opening up for the energy of Leo. There also is a possibility of, once again, the quest or the search for roots, and this is a very intense thing that is becoming apparent. It's becoming well known. The more you ground yourself, the more things are brought to its very foundation. Then there's an understanding of why things have panned out. Still, a lot is a mystery to me. When it comes to this, Ten of Swords comes very strong, along with the energetic reading from before. Ten of Swords talks about endings, but also deep pain. But then this is not so much the problem now. There's something about the ship also that needs to depart and also cross over the sea of unconscious in order to find new land, okay, or traveling by air to find someplace new. um, the motivating factor essentially is, in order to get over a sense of numbness or a sense of that it is ended, something like this. Um, there also is a possibility that intense emotions are not so intense when you analyze and check the root of the cause of such things. Things are coming to light, and I think it's a very good thing, considering that both of you are feeling this. This person is very open to listening, but not really saying or interacting, uh, unless it's with their immediate environment or with their natural habitat. This situation represents, okay, here it is, the Six of Rods, which showed up earlier. Okay. This situation resembles a type of rite of passage, once again. There's something about you being able to be yourself, and then even with you being yourself, there's something about your mind that needs to be restructured in order to see what is consciously there. Okay, this talks about humbling one's ego or one's self-identification, becoming extremely aware of that. And there's also a possibility that this person contributes to an idealized way when it comes to this rite of passage, causing for you a type of friction. But what emerges is the seed of it all. This sun is all over the place. Sun is here, here, and with the sun card there. Okay, on the conscious level, what is emerging within the mirror is some sort of realization that both of you may have a very similar energy that is tied to knowing the roots, deeply intensely feeling something in terms of this root system, the similar, conditions of humanity that bind you together. If not, they are someone that's very close to you in terms of relational specifications, either family or someone very closely in terms of friendship or camaraderie, or perhaps even a lover. There's something about this person that also harbors a type of secret. They're very distant, but even though they're open to hearing certain things, especially, they're also open to seeing the light and feeling the nurturing aspect of emotional undertones that fertilize the situation. And I think they know this. There's also a possibility here of something being buried and then rising out of it, and then, essentially coming into fruition. This is a commitment. This is something that also they tend to oscillate to and from. Okay. Um, there's something idealized or something very spacey about this person in terms of their ability to stay true to the course. I think this does not bother you much. I think you have your own sense of propriety. You are moved by this situation enough to know that there's something about what Leo can learn here The fifth house can learn here in terms of a way or means of self-expression, alchemical change, especially being on the cards here with temperance as well as the tower, meaning that you can convert the elements, either water or fire, into something new and understand in a grounded way how to, sort of place your feet on the right pedestals. Okay. Um, Now, I think both of you though are destined to have some sort of deeper connectivity, whatever that may be. There are challenges. One is the embracing of Mercury on your end, Mercury as well as Jupiter. There's something about you, and Jupiter and Mercury don't get well on together. Um, I mean, it really depends. Mercury is quite mutable, so is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is quite mutable as well. So there is something about you that can change. And there's something about you that's very flexible. You don't need this connection at the same time. There's something that they might be trying to add onto you or pulling from you something, something that was destined here with the pentacle being offered. Like I said, there's something about them that would work hard in order to give you a sense of this sun. But as they do that, they make you sort of question your authority or question your sense of rulership, your sense of empowerment. Okay, and this is not a bad thing if you can question that and keep that in check. There's something about that that can be humbling for you, and it would also teach you something in terms of anything that what they would offer. But the thing is that they're not very emotional. There's something about them that has an ingenuity, some form of Mercury and Uranus activated through what they give, what they do, how they sustain their wheel of change. Okay, but then you match this with Mercury's energy in Virgo through the Hermit. Okay, so there's something here that emerges. A flower that emerges from the seed that is radiated through the sun's energy into the earth, given prana, and then it grows out a flower of peace that is emerging between both of you. And this is something that they would willfully give and work hard, an offering of peace. Anything that I think you are more sort of concerned with. The one and the four, which is essentially asserting the self and creating structures for the self. One and the six being devoted to the self or devoted to the sun, mostly Surya Namaskara, the ability to be humbled in some sort of way through this whole process, and also to embrace the path of alchemy through Jupiter, converting the two cups of love into something that is more harmonious. Okay, fairly interesting considering the hermit here is shining light onto something, and also can be a drawback. With the 9 there's a possibility that 6 can be 9 in this. There's something about the 6th and the 9th houses that is strong in terms of what you can do. What is the hermit searching for? Okay. Okay, there it is again. So this represents a type of temptation. This could be a memory or a connection from the past that resembles something that was offered but not taken. Perhaps because you were on a different path, perhaps you were searching for something that revolves around true meaning, or perhaps something that was meaningful as opposed to a mind game or a type of manipulation. Now it's interesting because the 5 of Swords does come up in reverse here, and that indicates the 4 of Swords here. Okay, so this is something that you have been searching for, a sense of peace, sense of peace. What is the sign of Sagittarius? What is the sign of or what is the card of Temperance? It's the ability to make peace. It's the ability to find truth, which is self-evident, which does not have to be found or does not have to be uttered. Yes. Um, so with this, there's a sense of stillness, a meditative stance that grows from the seed that both of you have planted together in terms of an idea, in terms of a gesture, especially from them, in order to find this peace. And there's a lot of it going on. Perhaps there is a lesson of forgiveness that reflects on to you from them or from them to you. And believe me when I say this, forgiveness works both ways. So um, it's not merely that you are forgiving them. You are also forgiving them. You're also forgiving yourself, sort of thing. If any transgressions have been made, I'm not saying that there has been. There's something about this person that has come to a state of peace and a state of offering. Um, they entice a great deal of passion in you, and they help you repel and move away from this pentacle that you've sown with them together. This pentacle converts its energy into the wheel of fortune. Okay, and with this spinning, there's a sense that they no longer need the power. They no longer need the power in order to define themselves within this. There's a mutual sort of blessing in the twin sun, with the twins searching and looking into each other as if they were the same person. Um, I don't think this needs much more clarification. A fairly simple reading. Happy birthday and happy solar return for the energy of Leo. Yes, blessings to you, and please take care now. There are many beautiful deities that you can look up. Surya, which is Surya Namaskar. Surya is a very good one. Any of the Adityas are good. Ravi, as well as Aryaman. Those are some that I can name off the top of my head. But wishing you well, my dear Leo. Thank you, and bye-bye now.